Good morning, class 6. Welcome back to your biology classroom once again. Hope all of you watched the last video. Now I am going to start the respiratory tract. Nose and nasal cavity. Air enters the body through the nostrils. The nasal cavity is lined with hair which trap the fine dust particle present in the inhaler and prevent from them reaching the lungs. So what is the function of nasal cavity? Basically, nasal cavity is lined with teeny hair which trap the dust particles which actually present inside the inhaler and prevent them from enters or reaching the lungs. The inside of the nose is also covered by a sticky fluid called mucus. नाक के अंदर that is also covered by a sticky fluid जिसको हम लोग क्या बोलते हैं mucus. Dust particles and germs stick to the mucus are prevented from entering the lungs. Thus, the inhaler is cleaned by the hair and mucus present in the nasal cavity. Also, the air you breathe in is usually cooler than your body temperature. Normally, ये nasal cavity और mucus के द्वारा पास होने के कारण जब हम inhale करते हैं, we feel the air is cooler than our body temperature. It is warmed up by the body vessels present in the nasal cavity. Next, pharynx, larynx and trachea. From the nose, the inhaled air enters in the pharynx, first part of the reproductive organ. मतलब reproductive system का first part क्या है? After nasal passage, I mean nasal cavity को cross करने के बाद first हम जो inhale करते हैं air, उस air inhaled air कहाँ पे आता है? Pharynx पे. Pharynx is the region behind the nose and mouth. नाक और मुंह के पीछे फर्स्ट जो पार्ट दैट इज pharynx लीडिंग डाउन टू द थ्रोट. जो शुरू कहाँ से होता है? नॉर्मली हम लोग का होंठ से शुरू होता है. द लोअर पोर्शन ऑफ द pharynx लीड्स टू द larynx. pharynx का जो लोअर पोर्शन है दैट लीड्स टू द larynx, जो नॉर्मली larynx तक एक्सटेंडेड है. Larynx is also known as the voice box or vocal cord. Larynx is also known as voice box or vocal cord. It has a folds of tissues called vocal cords. Voice box में एक साथ tissue जो है there are some folds between the tissue. These are also known as vocal cords that vibrates with passage of air and produce sound. इस वोकल कॉर्ड के द्वारा नॉर्मली हम लोग जब एयर इनहेल करते हैं ये वाइब्रेट पैदा करता है जिसके दौरान हम लोग आवाज क्रिएट कर सकते हैं, मतलब बात कर सकते हैं. द लैरिंग्स लीड्स टू द विंड पाइप और ट्रैकिया. ये लैरिंग्स कहाँ तक एक्सटेंडेड है? अप टू ट्रैकिया और विंड पाइप. द ट्रैकिया फर्दर डिवाइडेड इनटू टू ब्रांचेस कॉल्ड ब्रोंकी इनसाइड द चेस्ट. तो आफ्टर दैट ट्रैकिया इज डिवाइडेड इनटू thin branches and in इस branches को हम लोग क्या बोलेंगे? ब्रोंकी. ब्रोंकी. The two branching tubes of trachea are called bronchi. Each bronchus leads into lungs where it branches repeatedly into smaller branches called bronchioles. So trachea दो भाग में डिवाइड होने के बाद डायरेक्टली लंग्स में घुस जाता है जिसके अंदर ये ब्रोंकी जो है further divided into thin branches. These are also known as bronchioles. Lungs. There is a pair of lungs, one left and one right. The left lung is two-lobed while the right lung is three-lobed. इसके नीचे दाग लगाना. This line is very important. Our left lung मतलब बाएं की तरफ lung का जो पार्ट है that is two-lobed. दो लोब में ये डिवाइड रहता है. वेयर इज राइट लंग इज थ्री लोब्ड, तीन लोब में डिवाइडेड है. ईच लंग इज अ स्पॉन्जी बैग लाइक स्ट्रक्चर कवर्ड बाय अ प्लूरल मेम्ब्रेन. So each lung is spongy bag-like structure and covered by pleural membrane. So the outer membrane of lung, that is known as pleural membrane. In between the two pleural membrane, there is a fluid called pleural membrane. So each lung is protected by or covered by membrane that is known as प्लूरल मेम्ब्रेन एंड दो प्लूरल मेम्ब्रेन के बीच एक फ्लूइड रहता है, उसको हम लोग क्या बोलेंगे, प्लूरल फ्लूइड. इट कीप्स द सरफेस ऑफ द लंग्स मॉइस्ट. ये फ्लूइड का काम क्या है, दिस प्लूरल फ्लूइड मेंटेन द मॉइस्चर ऑफ द आउटर सरफेस ऑफ लंग्स फॉर easy diffusion of gases. The lungs are protected by the rib cage. So normally हम लोग का lungs जो है rib cage के अंदर सुरक्षित रहता है. Below the lungs is a muscular sheet called diaphragm. Below the lungs, there is a muscular sheet that is known as diaphragm. The contraction and relaxation of diaphragm plays an important role in breathing. So after or below the lungs, there is a muscular sheet that is known as diaphragm. The contraction of or relaxation of diaphragm plays an important role for breathing. Next, alveoli. At the end of bronchioles are microscopic air sac called alveolar sac. At the end of bronchioles खत्म होने के बाद there are microscopic air sac. इसको हम लोग क्या बोलेंगे, alveolar sac. Each air sac has a group of alveoli. मतलब एक एयर सैक के अंदर, मतलब एक alveolar sac के अंदर बहुत सारा alveoli होता है. The thin walls of alveoli are richly supplied with blood capillaries. So the thin wall of alveoli rich with highly supplied blood capillaries. There are millions of alveoli in each lung. So student, hope all of you understood the respiratory tract, what I've discussed. So for today, up to this portion.